take Highway 61 east towards Many Berries and Etzicum.
You'd head south on Highway 879.
I live 20 miles south of Foremost.
We live about 15 miles from Many Berries.
Range Road 83, turn north.
And then you turn onto Township 44.
And half a mile east.
And then we're on Range Road 100.
We run a ranch.
I live on a farm and a ranch with my 2 sons and their families and grandchildren. My name is Joan Hewson.
I'm Laree King.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Pearson.
My name is Lee Hardy. I live on a farm, and we farm there with my husband's family, his brother, and his dad.
I grew up in the city. I'm a city girl, and somebody said we're the transplants out to the farm. And definitely it's an adjustment.
I really enjoy it. That's why I'm still here. I like to live on the farm, and I enjoy working with my family, and it's just a great pleasure to be able to watch my grandchildren grow up and be part of their lives and take it all in.
It's been about 2 years ago my husband suddenly passed away. So we weren't very well prepared to take over running the ranch because he was the main operator of the place, but my son and I have taken over and run the ranch for the last 2 years.
Some challenges I think that come from living on the farm are the isolation, in particular when I was first married and had young children. I remember they would get sick at midnight or 4, and they have a high fever, they're throwing up, you feel like you're all alone, and you just don't zip to the clinic or the doctor or anything like that. That can be a scary time.
The loneliness, the isolation being, when I first came here 51 years ago, we didn't have much modern conveniences, and we didn't have a lot of communication. It was on a party line with 20 other people, so you didn't talk anything personal.
There are neighbors, but they're maybe not necessarily people your age. So sometimes you can be lonely, and sometimes my husband comes home or comes in the house and, well, what do you know? Nothing. I haven't spoken to anyone all day, just the children. Because there's not daycare, there's no daycare.
Another challenge, I think, for rural women coming in to a farm family is that a family has its own language. And when I came to the farm, I was coming as a new member to that family. And because we live in close proximity and we work together, it took a few years to get onto the language of that family and to put some of my own language in there. You have to be a strong person to join this kind of a business, this kind of a lifestyle, and you got to fight for your own spot.
In 1982, my husband died, so I was a widow at 39, left with the farm, and we didn't have as big a farm or as many cattle then, but I had 3 kids to raise on my own. The day of his funeral, a relative came up to me and said, "What are you going to do with the farm?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to run it." And he looked me in the eye and he said, "There's no way you can do that." Well, he shouldn't have challenged me, because I looked back and I said, "Well, you just watch me. I can run this farm." I did the books, I paid the bills, I knew how the business end of it worked. I do have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, so I am very good at bookwork. Running the farm was not a challenge to me. What I said to him, I said, what really scares me is raising 3 children on my own. That was the biggest challenge, but I can truthfully say I think they turned out pretty good.
I'm a mother of 4. I love that we live on a farm for those children. They can go out and play all day outside, and I really don't have to fear much. We recently have started up 3 ATVs going at once, which is probably my biggest worry, that there might be a crash. The other thing is my boys love to shadow their dad, and with him working so close to the yard some days, they can be right by him and learning the ropes already about the farm.
I think raising my kids as the next generations of farmers is a big responsibility because we feed the world. It's important to show them that that's an important job. Farming's not for people who didn't want to go to university. Farming's for people who chose to farm.
Our farm celebrated its 100 years in 2010. So my grandchildren are 5th generation on the place. And I'm sure a couple of them might carry on farming.
I have 2 little grandboys, and they are my pride and joy. And we hope to carry the ranch on for them because we've been there 106 years now for the ranch.
I can ride with my kids. We have some horses. We go for rides and we see jackrabbits, all that kind of thing. There's owls. Yeah, those kinds of experiences you can't have anywhere else, and they're valuable. And that's what makes life fun.
I only have 1 son, so I can spend as much time with him as I want. So I've always been in a man's world working with on the ranch, but it's always nice to visit with a woman.
My female friends in the community keep you sane. You can talk about your kids, you can talk about your husbands, you can talk about your in-laws, because most of us are on a family farm, and you do need to talk about those things.
I didn't have a lot of time to meet with the girls and have coffee and things like that. I didn't do that for years because I had work to do with things that have to be done. But I have my little core of friends. Now it's getting that there's more of us that are widows, so we have that in common. So we're consoling each other on that too.
If you get lonely, I always find that if I go out and get on my horse and go for a ride, it always makes the day seem better. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on my horse the last couple of years. And it's hard to be left alone so suddenly. We have hardly any family. It's just my son and I. But we're making it. There's been a lot of people that thought that we couldn't do it, but we'll show them that we can do it.
It's not the type of life that everybody could do. I think you have to be a little special kind of person, a little tough. I want it to be a success. I want it to be able to run my home farm and to not feel like a failure, to feel that I could do it and that I could do it as well as a man could. Or maybe better.
I've learned to be happy with what I have every day and to enjoy the good things. And I think that comes with all women. We all share that same idea of being happy and raising our kids to be happy.
Yeah, I love the farm. I really do. Especially coming from the city, I think I surprise myself even how much I love it.
It isn't easy. It's a very rewarding life. My life is the ranch and the horses, my grandsons, and it's a pretty rewarding life. And that I was riding my horse across the prairie the other day, and I was thinking, what could I do where I could be happier? And I couldn't be anywhere happier.